Okay, everyone, it seems now that we do have quorum. So if you don't mind, we're going to start this meeting at 6:35 on this Wednesday, the 13th. Isidro Medina presiding over this meeting for the licensing committee or committee for 12. Before I start, I'd like to open the microphone before we say anything to translation services. So she can introduce herself and also do explain to the audience that for those that need translation services, that there's an icon on the lower hand of the screen that says interpretation. So if the guest would like to have immediate translation, they just gotta click that icon. So can you please provide that to our guests? Whoever's doing translation services, that goes precisely to you. Can you please be sure to let other guests know that there will be translation services if they were to click the icon on the bottom close to the right, and it will be simultaneous translation. Please explain that. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear it in the Spanish channel, yes.
Okay, very well. Thank you so much, Ebenezer. Welcome, everyone. Happy New Year to all. Very happy to be before you and to conduct this meeting that is so important to our community. Again, my name is Isidro Medina, Chair of the License Committee. We have a light agenda today, so we're going to start very briefly. Before we start, I'd like to take care of some house duties. Please, for all of you, please mute yourself. Unless you have a question, then we'll be able to be recognized. Just raise your hands and I'll be able to check that. Having said that, I would like for committee members to please introduce themselves. You all see yourselves in alphabetical order, so no need to wait for me to call upon you, but I will start with Gerard Dangle.
Good evening, Gerard Dangle, Assistant Chair.
Marielle.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Marielle Ali.
Ashley.
Hi, everyone. This is Ashley Fernandez.
Angel. Angel Vasquez.
Good evening, everyone. Angel Vasquez here.
Thank you. Rosie.
Good evening. My name is Rosie Perez.
Very well. Gerard, so right after I finish, can you please pass attendance, and then we're going to start with the agenda. But before you do that, I would like to thank the staff members for the continuous support in making sure that we get all the documentations. I know it's a chore that they have to copy all these documents. Very glad that Vanessa takes his time, and just to bring me a copy of all these documents so I can review it before the meeting. So Vanessa, thank you so much for your assistance. So now that we have introduced the committee members, I would like to acknowledge the presence of the 34 and 33rd precincts. Officers, can you please introduce yourselves? Starting with the 33rd precinct. We'll pass now to our 34th precinct. We'll come back to 33rd. 34th precinct, you have the floor. Officer Martinucci, if you guys are on, please introduce yourselves.
Good afternoon. This is Officer Aim and Lieutenant Taveras. We'll be taking over Officer Martinucci and Peña.
Thank you so much and welcome. Happy New Year to you and your family as well, yeah? It seems that we don't have a residential territory precinct. Do I have any board members present? And let me check through the list. I don't see any, nor do I see any elected officials or representatives. On that note, Gerard, can you please pass, well, before you do that, let's take care of in-house chores. I need to know who's going to do the minutes and the resos. I did the resos and resolutions for last month. I think I deserve a break. Volunteers. Cindy's not in, right? Gerard, you don't see Cindy.
I don't see Cindy, no.
We don't see Robin. We don't see Waldis.
Right. Right now, we just,
It's Ashley. I can do the minutes.
So Ashley will do the minutes.
so we have Ashley, Mariel Ali, Rosie Perez, and Angel Vasquez.
Who will volunteer for the resos? I think I'm going to have a chat then with the chair, Mr. Bueno, to see how we're going to handle the minutes and the resolutions, because we really have to distribute the workload. I also might ask the chair to do some changes within the committee structure.
On the resolutions, do you all typically draft them based on the minutes?
We take notes from the minutes because it will be easier to be on the same.
So you take notes. So you use the notes from the minutes to draft the resolution, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. I can draft the resolutions.
So Angel, do you have some template, Angel?
I believe they were sent around 2 months ago. Let me look through my emails. And if anything, I will reach out to you for templates.
Very well. On that note, Gerard, please pass attendance.
Sure, we'll take attendance. Cesar Medina, present. Gerard Dangle, present. Cindy Matos. Robin Cruz. Waldis Cruz. Ashley Fernandez.
Present.
Mariel Ali.
Present.
Rosie Perez.
Present.
Angel Vasquez.
Present.
And Leo Jimenez.
Leo is excused.
Okay, thank you.
Now, Gerard, please do a roll call for all the businesses.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry. Businesses, pardon me. So for the businesses, starting with item 1 on the agenda, we'll start with on-premise liquor license. Apologies. Would be El Jefe Eatery Group. Are you present? El Jefe Eatery Group?
Yes, we're present here. Miguel Acosta representing El Jefe.
Right. Next would be item 2 on the agenda would be Euro Eltina Restaurant Lounge. Present?
Yes, Argelio Rodriguez here along with Santiago Quesada.
Welcome. Item 3, Teravita Corp. Teravita Corp, are you present?
Yes, the owner and I are present.
Excellent. Item 4 on the agenda. Pardon me? Okay. Item 4 on the agenda would be Kismet Indian Restaurant. Kismet.
Yes, Shamim Ahmed, owner, present.
Welcome. Next is item 5, and that'll be under restaurant wine. Item 5 is EMS Gourmet Group, DBA Capri Restaurant, DBA Capri Restaurant. Are you present? Item 5, EMS Gourmet Group. Okay, so they're not present yet. Next on the list is under the method of operation change. It's item 7 would be Mexican Bistro Corp. Mexican.
Present, Miguel Acosta, represent the Mexican Bistro Corp.
Great. Next would be item 7 would be Pinchos Grill Inc. Pinchos Grill Inc. Pinchos, are you present? Okay, not yet. Next on the agenda is item 8 under class change. This is Il Posto Trattoria Rustica Corp. DBA Cafe Taboo.
Present.
Present. And if you're not speaking, could you please turn off your speaker? Please mute. Ariela. Ariela, thank you. Next is item 9. It's under the alteration section. Is Il Posto Trattoria Rustica
Yes.
Corp. Okay,
Yes.
same one, sorry. Okay, just want to make sure you're doing the same one. Next is item 10, Esquina 214 Corp. DBA Cafe Tobacco Iran. That's to move north. That's you, great. Next on the agenda would be item 11. It's under addition of another space. This is El Jefe Eatery Group Inc. DBA El Jefe. El Jefe, are you present?
Yes, but we removed that from the agenda for today.
Okay, so just note for the minutes that item 11 is removed, withdrawn. Okay, thank you. And then last is item 12. It's under the new licenses, and it's La Catrina Restaurant Mexican Deli Group.
Miguel Acosta representing here.
Okay, great, Miguel. So that's the agenda, and that's the roll call.
Thank you, Gerard. Ebenezer, there is someone from Al Taylor's office that is present, and as a representative or an elected official, I would like to have the opportunity to introduce the rep to the rest of the committee. Can you please see if you can promote her?
I'm here, Isidro. Good evening, everyone. This is Wendy Lorenzetti Olivo from Assemblymember Al Taylor's office. Thank you so much for having us here.
Thank you, Wendy, for joining us. Very well. Let's start with the first one being the renewal from El Jefe. This is a renewal, and this license is about to expire about next month, so I'm glad that they're coming in. They do have a questionnaire in hand, and this is within the purview of 34th precinct. As I check the previous resolution from the community board, the last time that they came to the board, there was no objection to El Jefe. But once I get an opinion of the 34th precinct, I do have some questions for them. Having said that, Officer Tejada, this is when the purview of 34th precinct. Can you please tell us the opinion of 34th precinct?
Okay, the opinion of the 34th precinct in regards to El Jefe, right?
Yes.
Okay, basically, we've had a lot of 311 complaints on Dykeman in regards to double parkers and just heavy bass music from the establishment. And also another point to make also is the occupancy levels have been disregarded with that establishment multiple times. Multiple times we've had to close it down because the occupancy level was way above than what is allowed.
Officer Tejada, when would this closure take place?
The summonses in February and in March.
Very well. Can I have the representative for El Jefe to get the be off or muted?
Yes, Miguel Acosta here. I have Madeline Almanza, president, is also here. Madeline, unmute. Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Miguel and Madeline, you heard the comments from the 34th precinct indicating about overcrowding issues, noise issues. I myself, I was waiting for this license to come before this committee. I passed by during the COVID closure back in March, I believe. Saw it way overcrowded, closing very late when restaurants were supposed to be closed. I was like in shock to see that this place was open beyond the limited hours. Can you please share your input into this matter?
Well, I have the situation with the violations and the tickets. I have El Jefe's attorney, Martin Restituyo. I was wondering if I could pass the communication to him so he can speak in regards to that, but has more information with regards to what exactly happened.
Martin Restituyo, welcome back. How are you?
Isidro, good to see you. And to the community board, thank you for taking time to listen to me this evening. So I can tell you that El Jefe has been an interesting situation. And as you know, Mr. Medina, I am rarely, if ever, at these events. I don't know what happened or what the issues were with the 34th precinct. I could tell you this, that there were a slew of tickets issued almost on a bi-weekly basis by Detectives Pena and Martinucci, commencing from about September 2019 through December 28, 2019, when those tickets were eventually heard. There was an interesting situation because there were police tickets issued for a series of building violations. When we went to the building department, neither the building department had any issues with El Jefe, nor did the SLA send an inspector. Also, the tickets were all issued in the name of a particular manager. So I'm not sure whether there was a personal issue or whether it was a real issue at El Jefe. I can tell you, having been to court, and that took like 4 appearances to resolve these matters because they were issued as criminal tickets. The criminal court didn't know what to do with it. The building department didn't want to touch it. Ultimately, all those tickets were dismissed. So there was I think $150 fine paid for. They were using an extension cord. So I don't know what's happening there. The tickets were both defective and improper. And I'm pretty sure that the officers know how to write tickets properly. There have been tickets issued since, even during the period of time that El Jefe was closed. And we have not had an opportunity to appear in court on that because the building department has been closed. And so we have not been able to get a court date. However, I do expect the same result to happen. I will note that this is one of those rare instances where we even wrote a letter to the Civilian Complaint Review Board to ask them to sort of get involved in this matter, because the frequency and the absence of merits to the tickets were cause for concern, and we actually asked some higher ups to sort of look into it. We've been also waiting, and perhaps COVID has delayed that also, to get some sort of response from the Civilian Complaint Review Board to evaluate whether and to what extent these tickets were properly issued, and inviting them in essence to both review the tickets and review the conditions. Now, I'm not there, so I don't know what your personal experience has been with the place, Isidro. I know you said that you mentioned having been there and having seen it, but I can tell you from the way they were taken, the tickets were written, the process that I went to, and the dismissals, that I'm not, at least from a procedural standpoint, those tickets didn't hold up any weight in court.
Thank you, Martin. So thank you, Gerard. So when I passed by Jefe pre-COVID, I actually went in, had a couple of beers. When El Jefe came to the board back in October 29, 2018, even though there was no objection, it was requested that the owner would put a phone number visible to the patrons. So in case there are any problems, that the residents will call someone and have the matters be dealt right there and then. Besides that, we also requested to have a good neighbor sign posted in the entrance. That was never there. We also requested that that the establishment buy a scanner. And even though they did provide us with a proof of our purchase for a scanner, when I got in, that was not visible either. So on 3 counts that I know that were not there, I'm very surprised that none of the requests that we requested as a community were not executed. And now to hear that when COVID was at the highest peak and no one knew what was going on, that I passed by, obviously didn't go in, but on the outside was jam-packed with people, open beyond the closing hours. So I was really, really concerned. And now that I know that the establishment got shut down twice, it's a matter of concern, not only for me, but also for the world. Do I have any input from residents? Let me check. I don't see any. And if I, for some any reason, I don't recognize.
Isidro.
Yes.
Lieutenant Taveras, 134. I just want to add, when you guys sign up for these licenses, you guys are agreeing that the police department could go into your location and inspect the business at any time you guys are open. I just want to clarify that. Also, El Jefe, I've been recently assigned here, and I could tell you the bus cannot get through because of the double parking that happens in that area. We got to continue to move the double parkers, and you move them, you turn around, and it's packed again. I just want to add that. We get numerous 311 complaints for noise and the double parking condition that happens there. That's all I have to add.
Very well. Committee members.
Yeah, I had a question, actually 2 points. I see the Gerard Dangle here. 34th Precinct, could you just clarify before I go on to my second point, when you talk about exceeding occupancy, this is post-COVID, right? When you talk about exceeding occupancy, is that like exceeding reduced occupancy current, or is this like, is the occupancy you're referring to full occupancy? Like, is this place so packed? Just wanted to clarify that.
So I wasn't present when the summons was issued,
okay.
But I could tell you it was, they have a limit of 74 people, and there was beyond 74 people. That's why the summonses were issued.
I appreciate it.
I just want to clarify also, I did review the body-worn cameras for when the tickets were issued, and there was definitely over 74 people inside the premise.
So, and when was that, Lieutenant? Sorry, when was that issued?
One time was February 9th and March 8th.
So this is well into COVID. So, okay, thank you. Thank you for that clarification. So, you know, it's a little disturbing that the conversation has revolved around some administrative disputes, and one could always dispute administrative type things. But, you know, it would have been, I think, greatly appreciated, or more appreciated from a committee standpoint, certainly from a resident standpoint, if what was being addressed was the real issue, that it's just incredible that regular occupancy is exceeded. I find it hard to believe, but I'm going to take the lieutenant's word that when they say occupancy, it's beyond 75. 75 is all supposed to be reduced. It's supposed to be less than that, by the way. And so all I'll say is it's a point of style, Miguel. I think you'd be more successful if you came and addressed the issues which really acknowledge that we're all here, prescient.
All right.
Listening,
Yeah.
listening
And
carefully.
yes, and I understand.
May I chime in? I don't want to overstep you, Miguel, but may I chime in to your response, Mr. Dangle?
Sure.
So I just want to be clear because there's some slippery slope in that speak. So there were tickets issued September 7, 2019, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Ticket issues December 1st, 2019.
I'm talking about occupancy. I am talking about
I'm talking
occupancy.
about these are also for occupancy. These are
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And those are the ones that I'm saying were dismissed, were found unwarranted and dismissed by the court. And so February 28th and March 8th were pre-Governor Cuomo's orders, so pre-COVID. In fact, the March, the slight reduction started on March 7th. The first state order started on March 7th, and there have been no overcrowding tickets since then. So that is also a slippery slope sort of argument. Yeah, there was COVID in the country, but the New York State governor had not issued an order until March 7th, and these tickets predate that.
So my only point was, and I'm not disputing anything, Martin, with you.
Okay.
So there's a COVID issue related to over occupancy, and then there's the life safety component. One of the things this committee, let me state.
I'll address that, Gerard, so just we can have some clarity on everything that's going on with this. Can I have my 2 minutes so I could just clarify everything?
Well, let me just finish mine. My question was related, not just focused, Martin, on COVID or not COVID. Occupancies are very important. They protect the lives of occupants and visitors, people that live in these buildings and other residents. So we as a committee and all of us are very, very concerned, and we take it very seriously when any business consistently goes over occupancy. That's a life safety thing. So
no, and I understand you, Gerard, 100%. Now, this is the situation with this premise. When the premise was received and the application was submitted to the liquor authority, there was a letter of no objection that was issued to the premise. The premise in reality does not hold 74 people. The previous owner applied for a letter of no objection in order for him to be able to pick up his license. That was the letter that was issued by the Department of Buildings. My client submitted a change of use and change of capacity. The establishment has 2 floors where it has 5 bathrooms on the second floor, 3 bathrooms on the first floor, holds a real capacity of almost 200 people. So I understand that based on the letter of no objection, which is indicated by the building department that it holds 74 people, my client does have records and proof that a change of use and change of capacity was approved by the plan examiner, but was at the time, he did not have the records in the store to show that the capacity had already been approved. So based on a document that you're looking at and based on the entire establishment and the real capacity that it really holds, I understand that you are in violation of the 74 people, but you also are complying with the building department by notifying them and submitting approved plans to increase the capacity. So these tickets, if they were issued, was because the document was not in hand that it was approved. But there was a fire department inspection already conducted, approving the capacity. And if you pass by the establishment, you can realize that the establishment does not hold 74 people. It holds way more than that. So yes, I understand the concern of the overcrowdiness, and it happens in a lot of small locations, but this is not a small location. So please.
Miguel, I have a question.
Yeah.
When you all went to court then, did you present to court these approved plans that allow you to have a capacity of larger than 74, 75?
Mark can answer that.
So the answer is there were 2 proofs of evidence. First of all, most of the tickets were improperly written in the sense that procedurally, the officers would literally just walk up to the door and say, hey, here's a ticket for overcrowding. So they were improper because a proper ticket, just like when you get a proper parking ticket, must state like your license plate and the color of your car and the make and model. So this was literally just, they would call the manager out, by the way, and we have this on video. They would call the manager out. They wouldn't even walk in, call him out and say, hey, Mr. Carrasco, they would stand up front. Here's your ticket for overcrowding. It would not say how many people were in the location and how many people were authorized to be in the location. So not only was I able to provide that evidence, but I also submitted proof of the plans that were submitted and were approved with respect to the larger capacity. So both of those pieces of evidence were the reason why these tickets were dismissed.
Angel, do you have another question? No. So now I'd like to recognize two board members that are present. And Ebenezer, if you're so kind, please promote them to panelists. They are Liz Ritter, who would like to say something, and also Francisco, who has a question. Francisco, please propose your question.
Isidro, can I chime in real quick? This is Officer Rain from the 34th Precinct.
Yes, please. Francisco,
Yes.
Francisco, you're going to be right after the officer.
Okay.
Okay.
In regards to those summonses that were issued, the officers Peña and Martinucci did enter the establishment, and they did a head count. They also asked the bouncer what was the amount of people inside of the establishment. So when they did the head count, they came up to a total tally of 180 people, which is well over the 74 people that they're supposed to have in the establishment. So they didn't just go up to the establishment and just handed them a ticket. They went inside and they did a head count. I just want to make that clear.
Thank you so much, officer. I would now like to recognize Francisco. Francisco, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. I came in a little late, but it sounds like you guys are talking about El Jefe.
Yes.
Okay, I live close there. I'm like 2-3 blocks away from Dykeman, and it's very important that when we are deciding or speaking of certain businesses, that we at least try to, I would say, visit the location or speak to somebody that might be more aware of what's going on, because it is true. I've been in that establishment many times, and 75 people is literally like the back. You can fit 75 people in the back of the place. So again, we're going to go off just data. We need to present context as well, because it's important. Otherwise, we're going to mislead people into thinking that an establishment isn't doing the appropriate things according to law and policy. That's pretty much it, what I wanted to say. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Francisco. I would like now to recognize Liz Ritter. Liz? Liz Ritter seems to have left the building, I believe. Very well. I see Maria Lee, you have a question.
Not a question. Thank you, Isidro. Not a question, but more so just a comment. So aside from the issues that we're already discussing in terms of like capacity and the tickets and so on and so forth, what you mentioned at the beginning, Isidro, regarding the fact that a good neighbor sign is not publicly displayed, that to me is also an issue, based on the fact that that was one of the stipulations for the liquor license in 2018. So that for me is just also an issue, and I hope that's addressed.
Thank you so much, Ali. Now I see and recognize Aurelia. Aurelia, you have the floor. It seems that, unmute yourself, please.
Oh, sorry. I've never been to El Jefe, ironically, since this was my first time this year. I actually had an amazing time. I thought that the way they were following COVID protocol, I would not have gone in if I didn't think it was safe. I think the ownership has cleaned up a lot of the issues that are going on with the 34th precinct and the community. And I think that this era right now defines whether we keep these businesses alive. These minor things with the community board can be corrected. I ask that the applicant does show proof that they are correcting these mistakes or these errors or omissions, but I don't think that at this, I think that we have to support our businesses. And if they're willing to sign stipulations and step up, that we give them the opportunity. We're losing businesses and jobs, and what's going to happen to all of us, everyone in that community, is crime is going to go up, and we're going to have more issues than the ones we have at this present. And then, and a lot of the crime and a lot of the things, What's happening is they're focusing more on business compliance than on crime that's going on outside. And I'd like the 34th precinct to take responsibility for what's going on in the neighborhood. 10th Avenue is horrific with shootings. And as we know, I've dealt with a few of them in Florida, horrible. I want you guys to stand on 10th Avenue and stay out of the businesses and leave those people, let them make money and move forward and help our community grow. It's time.
Thank you, Aurelia. For me, as a resident, overcrowding during the pandemic is not a minor problem. It is a very serious concern to me as a resident.
You see, Joe, pardon my interruption. I have emailed Chanel the proof of the amended plan that was submitted and approved by the building department for your records and your reference, where it indicates the amount of people that are allowed in the establishment, just for your records.
It's good that you send that out, but I witnessed that myself. I don't need to have any report. I was there, and unfortunately, Aurelia, you do defend our restaurants, and it's not fair that restaurants that do follow the regulations close on time, and then when you see a restaurant that is not closing on time, that has to be really, really troubling for you as a representative of the restaurant industry. When I saw that where restaurants that were obliged and had complied with the law, they closed down times, didn't make a lot of the benefits, didn't make enough profit. But when you see a restaurant breaking the law, extending the hours that I saw with my own eyes, for me, that's very serious. Miguel, you have a minute?
Yes. So, like I said, I have documented, sent you the document from the building department that my client is responding to any such violation that was issued. And basically, with regards to the operating and the time, you know, it's something that I will address with them, and I'll make sure that they are aware. Madeline is here with us now, and she is actually hearing everything that your concerns that you're addressing. So I'm 100% sure that she is going to it with management. I believe actually the manager that was managing the establishment prior to COVID has been relieved of his duties, and there's a new manager at the present time. And I believe that after COVID, until recently when we were forced to close as a restaurant, the indoor dining, the business is currently closed. But in the past couple of months, everything has been in compliance with all the guidelines. They were visited by the Department of Health, which requested proof and documentations of all the guidelines and regulations.
Miguel, Angel, see that you have a question.
Yeah. If the issue goes back to September with violation after violation after violation, why take action on the manager that was responsible? Because from what the lawyer said at the beginning, it seemed to have, he said it could have been something personal. He wasn't sure. He's not there. So it could be something personal, not personal. Why wasn't action taken with that manager beforehand? If you're seeing a series of violations happening from September through December.
Well, you're talking about a 3-month period. Sometimes, you know, as a business owner, we give the benefit of the doubt to our, you know, managers, because if you're putting your business and your investment in somebody's hands, that means that you trust this person. So sometimes, you know, you go home, you the manager to manage the establishment as you instructed them to. And that's why normally you give the benefit of the doubt and you give them 3 to 6 months to reevaluate their decisions and the way they're managing. And now, as you can see, he wasn't doing the right thing. And besides that, by him not doing the right thing, created a personal problem with the precinct. Because if I am representing a business and every time Officer Pena goes, which I had a pretty good relationship with him, and Officer Martinucci, and it seems like the manager is not respecting the guidelines or the rules, then it's going to become personal because it seems disrespectful. So it was acknowledged by the owner and changes.
Thank you so much. So at this point, if
I have a quick question.
Rosie, welcome.
My question is, in terms of the violations, were they disputed in front of the court?
Yes, and they were dismissed.
This is Martin Restituyo. I want to clear up a couple of things because there's, again, we keep on sort of merging things that don't belong together. So the first, with respect to these violations all came pre-COVID. I don't know. Again, I don't know what Isidro saw COVID. I don't go to the place, but the violations that I dealt with were all pre-COVID. That's one. Second, with respect to the manager and what his issues were, I don't know. All the violations were dismissed. So I don't deal with ownership. I can tell you from violations. We went to court, we went to criminal court, no less, and we got the violations dismissed. If the committee wants, I can provide all the copies of all the violations and all the dismissals that came along with it. So again, I don't know what the internals, personal, not personal. When I went to court, the basis for the tickets was unwarranted and the cases were dismissed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Isidro, can I make one point for our committee? And just one quick point. So just a point for the committee and for residents. It isn't the responsibility of a community, is it in the responsibility of a board or committees or anybody else to maintain up-to-date and accurate records. We all know in the city, when you're in the process of upgrading and changing CFOs and other administrative things, it's the responsibility, sole responsibility of ownership, whether it's a building owner, whether it's a business, to complete the process and to have accurate paperwork in place, posted as required and everything else. So regardless of what happens in court and administrative courts, and we all know that often things that are relevant are dismissed just to move things along anyway. I'm not saying in this case, what I'm saying is, administrative courts move things along. I'm not talking about this, but from a resident standpoint, from a community standpoint, people are giving witness that they're seeing overcrowding on the streets and in the businesses. And it would just, from a resident standpoint, it'd just be a little bit more reassuring if that was just being like, hey, we got some issues here and they really are overcrowding. We have a chairperson who's seen this. I think that should be acknowledged and not spoken of like it didn't really happen. That's all I have to say.
Thank you so much. At this point, I'd like to ask the committee if there are no questions to go into voting procedure.
Let's go.
Let's go to voting. You're right.
Isidro, how are you voting?
Abstain.
Abstain on, and again, this is item 1 on the agenda. It's for Hell FA. Isidro abstains. I abstain. Cindy?
Not here.
Okay. Robin?
Not here.
Okay. Waldiz?
Not here.
Ashley?
Abstain.
Marielle?
No.
No. Rosie?
Yes.
Angel?
No.
Leo? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3. We have 3 abstentions, 2 no's, and 1 yes. It seems like it doesn't pass, Isidro, but I'll let you do the math.
Yes, by a vote of 1 to 2 to 3, this resolution fails. For the folks at El Jefe, I would like for you to rectify some of the issues affecting this establishment. As a community board, we requested something very simple, and you all had agreed to execute this. The good neighbor sign, it's a shame that, businesses don't post this, but it's a requirement that we put because we want to be vigilant for our neighbors. That doesn't take much. Just piece of tape, paper, plug it in the door, and you'll be okay. And we also requested that you have, on the last resolution, that you have the scanner. I didn't see that. Maybe that was that I went in perhaps a bit early. Could be, right? Might well be. But, the issue has been very clear about this overcrowding issue that I saw myself as a problem, and being open after hours that we're supposed to be closed. Very concerning. I'm looking forward for you to sit together, come with some strategies, and see how we can help to come back and be in 100% compliance. Very well. Let's move to the next one.
We'll definitely will. Thank you, Cesar.
Next item on the agenda is item 2, and again, these are under renewals. Item 2 is Euro Altina Restaurant Lounge and Billiards Corp. They are located at 500 West 207th Street. And again, Euro Altina Restaurant Lounge and Billiards. Present?
Yes.
What's your name for the record, please?
Argelio Rodriguez. I'm the attorney for Eltina.
Argelio Rodriguez, right?
Yeah.
And you are the representative.
Yes.
Very well. The last time that Eltina came to this community board, the recommendation was no objection by the community board, and that happened on December 31st of 2018. This is within the purview of 34th precinct. Officer Tejada, can you please provide some input into this establishment?
Yes, by the way, it's Officer Aim, and the lieutenant is Lieutenant Tavares.
All right,
This is Officer
apologies.
The only issues that we have with Dina is pretty much just the double parkers on the intersection of 207 and 10th. Other than that, we really don't have too many issues with the establishment. Just a lot. I know a lot of taxis like to park there, and people park to grab their food. But other than the double parkers, there's really no other issues.
I myself, Officer Aim, I'm a client of that particular store. Every now and then I pass by and I pick up some soup to go. Very nice price, and the soup is really nice. It's really good. The place is very small. Wait a minute, this is the billiard.
Yeah, Isidro, I think you're referring to the restaurant on the top.
Right.
We're here. What's on the agenda is Eltina.
It's a lounge and billiards on the basement, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Having said that, I'd like to see if there are any comments from our residents. We heard some comments from the 34th precinct. I see no comments from our residents. I would now like to open up comments from committee members. Seeing none, I would like, let me see, I have two questions here. They already have been answered. Thank you so much. So having said that, I'd like to go to straight vote if there are no issues.
Okay. So for item 2, and again, we're voting on item 2, Euro El Tina Restaurant Lounge. Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, I vote yes. Cindy, Robin, Valdez, Ashley.
Yes.
Okay. Marielle?
Yes.
Yes. Rosie,
Yes.
Angel.
Yes.
Yes. And Leo is not here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This has 6 yeses and passes with 6 yeses. Well, congratulations.
Thank you so much. You are by vote of 6-0-0. This application passes. Congratulations, Argelio. Please send warm regards to the family, because these are family-owned places. They have like 3 places there, right? They have a small soup shop, the billiard, and another restaurant right next to it, right?
That's right.
How are they doing? Are they afloat? I know the billiard is closed, right?
I'll defer to Santiago, but things are very rough right now.
But I'm saying the billiard place is closed, right?
The billiard place has been closed since December. Yes.
I hope that this thing gets over and passes by pretty soon, so you guys can open up. Very well, congratulations, huh?
Okay.
All right, next on the list is item 3, Teravita Corp. It's located at 4193 Broadway. It's between 177th and 178th Street. So again, Teravita Corp, are you present?
Yes.
Welcome.
And Jose Rosa is present too, the owner. Teravita is, well, a family run. Him and his wife are there all the time. Next to El Mambi, can you guys hear me?
Aurelia, thank you, Aurelia. I don't see a questionnaire here handy. Chanel, are you on the call? Because I don't have a questionnaire for.
Yeah, I did not receive one either.
Chanel, I sent it to you. I have it here this morning when we spoke.
I never received it.
Before Aurelia give you the floor, I would like to hear some comments from the 33rd precinct to see if there are any concerns. Since we don't have a questionnaire, I'd like to hear his comments and then move forward, even if you don't provide a questionnaire because it's not fair to close business or not let them to proceed just because of the questionnaire, even though it's required. So, officer from the 33rd precinct, do we have someone there present?
Yes, Officer Brown from the 33rd precinct.
Yes.
That's hi, good evening. So, in regards to this location, back in May and June, we had 5 311 calls placed for not following social distancing protocols. We haven't had any since June, so it seems like the restaurant worked out the problem they were having. And also in between June, July, and August, we've had 5 311 calls for loud noise coming from the restaurant. I know the restaurant has outdoor seating, so I don't know if the calls are coming based off the music being played outside. But since August, we haven't had any other 311 calls at that location. We also have a little bit of a problem outside the location with double parking, but there are other restaurants and there's a Dunkin' Donuts there, so there are other establishments that cause the double parking problem on Broadway. It's not just this restaurant. But aside from that, that's all we have.
Thank you so much, Officer Brown.
You're welcome.
Aurelia, apologies, you have the floor.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Once again, I'm here for Terra Vita, a small family-run restaurant on Broadway next to Dunkin' Donuts at 176th Street. The owner, Jose Rosa, I think these things were brought to his attention earlier in the year, and he's done an about face. This location never gave problems. So with the outdoor dining, I could see how with all the people, the traffic, the double parking, there could be some issues, but I don't think that there are any issues at present, as the precinct has reported since August in the summer, but also they're on site to address anything at any time. So I don't know if the owner is Jose, can you hear me? Maybe you want to address, hello?
Yes.
Hi, Jose, you want to introduce
Hi.
yourself?
All right. So my name is Jose Rosa, owner for the Terra Vida. Hi, Isidro.
Hi.
All right. So we try doing something good for the community, for the Washington High. So I appreciate everything you're doing for us.
Thank you so much, Jose. I've been to the establishment. Love the place. I love what you have done on the outside. I liked it so much that in one day I went there twice, even with the COVID issue. I like your service. Very polite, very professional, very clean. I actually had a conversation there. I was able to carry out a conversation, which is sometimes hard other places. Felt really comfortable, felt secure, love the food. You have something good going there, my friend.
Yeah, thank you.
And for the record, I just sent you the package again. I don't know what happened with that. That was already ready. So I just sent it again.
Thank you, Aurelia. So Sheena, if you're so kind, please forward those questionnaires to both Angel and Ashley so that they can follow up and do the proper minutes and resolutions. Thank you, Aurelia. On that note, I don't have questionnaire for agenda item number 7, which is Pinchos Grill. So Pinchos, please make sure that you send this questionnaire like right away. I don't want to put a stop to you and your process, so please send that out right away. Going back to Terra Vita, again, nice place, but I'm going to open up the floor. I do have a comment from one of our residents about this establishment. Marion Collins support this establishment. He says that they bring something positive and contribute to the well-being of the community. So you do have some fans there, Jose, that support your establishment. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do I have any questions from my committee members?
No question. Just wanted to say that I really appreciate that establishment as well.
Thank you so much, Angel. And that should all go into the minutes as well. I recommend that we go to a straight vote if there are no objections.
Agreed. So again, for item 3, Terra Vita, voting on Isidro.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, I vote yes. Cindy's not here. Robin Waldy's not here. Ashley Fernandez.
Yes.
Okay. Mariela Ali.
Yes.
Okay. And Rosie
Yes.
and Angel.
Yes.
Okay, and Leo is not here, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This vote passes with 6 yeses. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Great job. I hope that you prosper, my friend, because it's a beautiful place. Take care of yourself.
Okay, next on the agenda is item 4. Again, this is under renewal, and this is for Kismet Indian Restaurant, Inc. It's located at 603 Fort Washington Avenue. That's at the corner of West 187th Street. Again, Kismet Indian. Are you present?
Yes, hi, Sammy here, the owner.
Welcome.
What's for the
Thank
person,
you.
please tell us your name and last name, please.
My full name is Shamim Ahmed. All my friends, customers, neighbors know me as Sammy. I am the owner of Kismet Indian Restaurant, which is located on 603 Fort Wash. We've been in the community, Washington Heights, for the last 30 plus years. I grew up in that neighborhood, basically.
Thank you so much for your introduction. This is with the Purview 34 precinct. Officer Aim and Officer Taveras, can you please tell us what is the recommendation of 34 precinct?
Yeah, this is Officer Aim. Basically, we've had no complaints with his restaurant. We've had no social distancing issues with his restaurant. We've had no parking issues with his restaurant. They're a good example for the community with the establishment. So that's our take on that establishment.
Thank you so much, Officer Aim. It's always good to hear this type of comments from the 34 precinct. This license expired, and I'd like to know what have you done to keep the alcohol away from the establishment? At least, what have you done with the alcohol?
We actually closed up our bar. None of our bartenders are presently working. We've taken away all the tents that are normally on the tables for the beer list, the wine list, the Indian beer list, and so forth.
You do have a community resident supporting your establishment. Marion Collins, who is a resident of the community, sent out a letter supporting your establishment. Same as also Liz Ritter, who supports your establishment as well. So that's really good, and that will go into the record. Quick question: your health code and the grade is pending. I see lots of violations. What's going on there?
That was great pending. We addressed all the issues that we had, and they were rectified. Then COVID came, and the health department is closed. But we've had many re-inspections, which for the sanitary, for the COVID protocols, we've passed them with everything, safety protocols, temperature taken for customers, plus for the staff.
The violations, however, they have been consistent going back to 2017, March 7, 2017. It seems like on a yearly basis, you get a minimum of 2 summonses. That is a concern. You really need to work on this so that you will not have any more summonses.
Oh, yes. We had an issue because we share a huge basement with Frank's Market. Mr. Ankowitz's building is joined. All the basements share the sharing walls. So there was a problem with some plumbing that the plumbers left literally open for a couple of weeks. So we were trying to build out everything so nothing comes through the adjacent walls and so forth.
There seemed to be a presence of mice in the establishment.
Yes, that's what I was talking about, correct. So we literally put all along the basement, 4 inches of cement, and stainless steel flashing, which is 13 inches up and 3 inches wide to the floor, 90-degree angle.
Shamin, how long you been at this establishment?
30 plus years.
On the establishment, and you been part of the community for how long?
Since the 80s, sir, 1981.
So you know the area very well.
I grew up in Washington Heights, yes.
Nice, nice. Do I have any comments from our residents? I see none. Committee members?
I just wanted to take this opportunity to just note the comments that were made by the 34th precinct and that are noted by residents and by some people on the committee, and just show that there is pretty good balance here. You had the 34th precinct spoke very, very well in terms of their interaction and their observations of this business. So it shows that they can be fair-minded, that they are fair-minded, and that people that said or brought their opinion, which is why we have this, it's to provide a public space where all of us can give an opinion about a business. We had some committee members that spoke very well in terms of their experience about this business. I just wanted to bring that up for a balance, because I think often when we have agencies or the precincts or other committee members bring up valid issues, sometimes it's cast in the light that somehow they're being negative. No, they're only sharing their experience and their observations. So I want to thank all that continue to share their view and their experience. And I want to encourage you to feel comfortable in this space. This space doesn't make anyone feel less than that shares their point of view. We want to encourage that. Thank you, 34. Thank you, committee.
Thank you, you're right. Shamin, because of all these comments, I'll be sure that I'll pay you a visit. Once things open up, I'll be sure to drop by.
We have the Sidewalk Cafe.
You're right, maybe you and I can drop by.
Yes, let's do that.
And the rest of the committees, of course. Ashley, Angel, you all guys are all welcome. Maria, perhaps arrange a date and have some coffee, tea, whenever it's possible. Shamin, you want to say something?
Yes, I wanted to address the issue about the license being expired. I did get the renewal way back, and I mentioned that before COVID to my person who does all the renewals and so forth, and they said wait. And I, among all this craziness, my brain just had a whoops, and it never happens to me like this. So all of a sudden I was ordering beer from Manhattan Beer, and they said, oh, in our system it shows that the license just expired December 31st.
Yeah.
That's when I reached out to you, reached out to everybody that I knew, explaining my situation, because I'm very transparent. Being in a neighborhood for 30 plus years, everybody knows you, you know everyone, you know their kids, their children, everything, their dogs, cats.
And you know, we're here to help. We are part of the solution, we're not part of the problems, and we're here to help, and we'll help you whatever we can. But I see that Maria has a question. Maria, you have the floor.
No, not a question, just a comment. So I actually went to 187 growing up. So I always remember kind of walking by your restaurant, and I have good memories of it. I haven't been in a while, but I hope to visit again. And it sounds like, you know, from what you've shared, you're addressing some of the health code violations, which is good to hear.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If there are no objections, Gerard, I recommend that we go to straight vote.
Agreed, yes. Item 4.
I have one more thing to input, if I may.
Please.
I had sent with my package a letter of waiver for 30 days. It's in my package. It's something that other community boards have done. It's nothing unusual that I'm asking for. If you guys can see the memo that I sent to Mr. Ebenezer and also to Mr. Medina, it's in my file with Kismat's renewal.
We've seen,
I would greatly.
we've seen your request, but this community board doesn't provide waivers. Ebenezer, if I'm not mistaken, that is the case, correct?
Yeah, I think Isidro, we can only vote in support or not. That's it.
Yeah, so Charmaine, we can only vote as Gerard indicated to approve or disapprove. We would not write any waivers. That would be the process for this community board. Having said that, if there's an objection from you, Kishmat, Charmaine will go to straight vote.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're going to vote. And Isidro, how do you vote on this?
Yes.
Okay. I vote yes on this. Cindy, Robin, Waldiz. Okay. Ashley.
Yes.
Okay. Marielle,
Yes.
Rosie,
Yes.
Angel.
Yes.
This passes with 6 yeses. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Take care of yourself, and in the future, apply for renewal sometime in November. Yes.
Yes.
So next on the agenda, it's still under renewal. It's under restaurant wine, and this is item 5, EMS Gourmet Corp. It's DBA Capri Restaurant. They are located at 1342 St. Nicholas Avenue. It's at the corner of West 177th Street, and this is again EMS Gourmet Corp. Are you present? Present. Going once. DBA Capri Restaurant twice, 3 times. So no, they are not present, Isidro. So I don't know what we're on.
Let's listen to the input from the 33rd precinct, and since that'll be the only information that we might get, we will take it from there. Officer Brown, what is the opinion of the 33rd precinct?
Hi again, good evening. So at this location, all of last year, we've had no 311 complaints, no social distancing protocol violations, no double parking issues. So from the 3-3 perspective, we have no concerns or complaints from Capri.
Thank you so much, Officer Brown, for your input.
You're welcome.
Yes, continue, please. Officer Brown?
Yes, no, that's all from the 3-3 perspective.
Very well. I see no question from our residents. Now turning to committee members to see if they have any issues. Seeing none, Gerard, I recommend that go to a straight vote if there are no objections.
Agreed. So here we go. Item 5, again, we're voting on EMS Gourmet Corp. Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. I vote yes. Cindy, Robin, Waldiz, not here. Ashley.
Yes.
Okay. Marielle,
Yes.
Rosie,
Yes.
Angel.
Yes.
Congratulations. This is 6 yeses and a votes unanimously.
Thank you so much, Gerard, for your assistance. Let's move to the next one.
Okay, the next on the agenda, this is under method of operation change. And this is item 6, and they are Mexican Bistro Corp. They're located at 3803 10th Avenue. It's between 203rd and West 204th Street. Again, it's Mexican Bistro Corp. This is for a method of operation change. Are you present?
Yes, President Miguel Acosta. Not sure if Manuel Toribio, the owner's on, but I'll be here on their behalf.
Very well. So the request here for this establishment is to change the method of operations, which will include to add a DJ, karaoke, and live music, and then closing hours to be at 3 a.m. on Fridays and Sundays, and at 2 a.m. on weekdays. Sorry. So again, 2 a.m. on weekdays, and then Fridays and Sundays
think it's Friday. It's Friday to Sunday. Friday and Saturday.
Friday through, yeah, okay, Friday through Saturday, through Sunday, right?
Yeah, Friday through Sunday.
Not end.
No.
Thank you for clarifying that. So this is the ask. This is with the purview of the 34th precinct, Officer Aim, and what will be the opinion of 34th precinct? Do you know what
Yes,
this
Officer.
is, that, Officer Aim?
Yeah, this is Officer Aim. The only concerns we have is just basically, you know, the parking situation in that area. You know, we're all aware of it. Just really nowhere to park. And the other concern we have is just the level of noise from the music, just, you know, disturbing any residents. There's, you know, housing right in front, in particular with the bass, you know, but that's really the only concerns we have regarding that establishment. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Officer Brown.
Isidro, if I may address the officer's complaint, I'm Angel Tejada. I will be the manager helping run and operate the business.
Miguel,
I'm Angel Tejada. It says Miguel sent me the link and it shows his name. So
before you proceed, what's your title there?
I will be the manager, the acting manager with Mr. Manny Toribio. If you don't know, Manny Toribio has been the owner, or was the owner for La Nueva España. La Nueva España was located in 168 in St. Nicholas. He ran and operated that business for 15 years with any issue, any problems. I'm pretty sure most of the community board members visited this location. Unfortunately, he lost the location due to the high rent. The rent went from $12,000 to $20,000, and he was forced to let go of the place. And now he's looking to make the business 3803 10th Avenue. In regards to what the officer said to the music, right in front of the business, I don't know if the officer is too familiar. We're almost on the corner, so right in front of the business. The nearest apartment building is maybe 300 feet. To the rear is approximately 250 feet. To the right, there's nothing but commercial building. To the left, there's just a church up the corner. We have a sound leveler, a sound meter that has been input into the business. We're not looking to go to 4 p.m., just 4 a.m. We're just looking to go to 2 a.m. And the reason why we want to add karaoke live music is because we're doing a Mexican theme. And let's say one day for the Cinco de Mayo, we want to bring a mariachi to not with amplified music, but just a cappella to sing. Or, you know, when it's somebody's birthday, we have an intention to bring a mariachi to sing happy birthday, going all out with the Mexican theme. If the officer wants to come and check out the venue, he's more than welcome. He'll see that we have very, very small speakers. And like I said, we're not intending to go into the night. We don't want to go into the night. In regards to the parking situation, we are not where the rest of the restaurants are, which are, I believe they are on 202, where Opus, where Brasil, they are 2 blocks down.
That's time.
Okay. Thank you so much, Angel. And before we proceed, I'm not clear. It's like on the first floor, Angel, because I don't visualize.
Is a commercial building. There's no resident on top. There's no resident on the top. There's no resident to the right, and there's no resident to the left. There's a building in the rear, which is approximately 200 feet space in between.
I'm asking if it's a one-story building.
It is, yes. It's a one-story building. There's no tenants above.
Is that where Ceniza used to be at?
No, Ceniza, right next to Ceniza.
Are you guys open?
We tried opening, but it's very hard. It wasn't working out, so we just left it closed until we see that this COVID situation goes away, and hopefully the land will understand and give us a break. And maybe we'll see summer 2021.
Yeah, because I pass by every now and then, and I never seen that place open.
Yeah, it's boarded up. Unfortunately, we took the board down, and we have to put it back up because we had a small break-ins. Some kids broke the glasses, and they took a couple of the computers, so we just put the plywood back on again.
Angel, you mentioned that Toribio was the owner at La Nueva
Yes.
España. Which
Yes. The one located 168 St. Nicholas. 160 is it 168 or 170? Yeah, it's in St. Nicholas. Yeah, but
it had to be 173rd then.
173rd. Yes, I'm sorry. I keep saying 160. It's 173rd. Yeah, he was there for 15 years. There wasn't any issue, any problem with that license. As a matter of fact, I think maybe a year ago, before he lost the business, you guys renewed his license with 6-0, no problem.
I recall a place. I went there many times.
Yes, great chicken.
Yeah. So you'll be managing the place, right?
Yes.
I think I seen you many times. I don't know where. Was it in Brazil?
Well, no, I opened and I run, operated Altus Cafe located 4460 Broadway. I was the owner of that location for 5 years, and then 4325 is Altus Cafe. And then 4460 Broadway is like Cantina Heights. I've been there for 9 years. I never had any issue. Unfortunately, I'm letting go of that place because of COVID.
So Altus, you were there 5 years ago, right?
Yes. Yes.
And you sold your shares, or
I sold my share to Israel, to Cilia Franco, approximately 3 years ago, almost 4 years ago. Yes.
Very well. Questions from residents? I see none. Committee members.
I would just make one or two notes. Isidro, that's right across, I believe, from the basketball courts, where they play those in with big basketball games, Isidro. But just to note that it's not far from the Dykeman House. So I want to put that out, that while it is kind of a commercial area for sure, and across from a park, we've actually had people from the Dykeman House come down to some of our meetings and spoke about businesses right there, because they can hear it. So, on behalf of them, I just want to put that out there because it doesn't seem like any of them are here tonight, but I know they care deeply about what goes on that street.
Yeah, you are referring to the businesses that are further to the right. Yeah, about 2 blocks down. Yes, those are right in front of the Dykeman houses. Yes.
Yeah. So
it's about 2 blocks down. Yeah.
Because of the late hours, that those, like really late, like 4 o'clock, as is usually the request. But because of the Dykeman houses, the last time that you came here, there was no objection by the board. And at that time, you said that there will be no DJ. I understand that perhaps you want to diversify your business because of COVID. And
yes,
you want to make ends meet because of the nature of what we're facing. Having said that, however, we must be vigilant to our residents, and I would not make any adjustment to the hours, but I would make the following stipulations. And Angel.
Yes.
Please take these recommendations very seriously, because they become part of the record and they come back to us as to what you had agreed on.
Correct. Okay.
So I recommend stipulations, and the committee members will also chime in whether or not they can agree with me or disagree, right? So one, that you put a good neighbor sign.
That's not a problem.
That you put a phone number of a manager in charge.
That's not a problem as well.
Very visible, so in case the residents have a problem, that they can call someone immediately.
Correct. Also, the number we posted in social media as well.
Let me ask you, are you going to have security guards?
If it's required, yes. I mean, we intend to operate as a restaurant 2 a.m. I think we might have one security guard or two just to, I guess, help out.
On that note, I will request that you also buy a portable scanner.
Portable scanner? That's not a problem. Security companies, they usually bring that.
Very well. Those will be my steps. If there are no other additional committee members, any observation, any?
Some sound limiters, Isidro?
Yes, sound limiter has been on. We sent the receipt to the community board a long time ago. We put a sound governor into the thing, and the place has been insulated for sound as well.
And Manuel Toribio will be the owner, right?
Manuel Toribio is the owner, is the licensee. That is correct.
All right. With set stipulations, should we go to straight vote?
Yes.
Before we move on, I see a question from Maria. Maria, you have the floor.
Yes, just a quick questions, and apologies if I missed this earlier. The weekdays at 2 a.m., are you proposing to have the DJ karaoke and live music?
No, when we say DJ karaoke and live music, the live music, which is the mariachi, which we might bring every now and then, is just for the weekend. Let's say somebody has a birthday. Unfortunately, in the liquor license, we can't just put the live music next day. We just have to ask for it. And in regards to the DJ, it's just going to be on the weekend, I guess.
Okay. The DJ is going to be on weeknights?
I'm sorry? Our closing hours is 2 a.m. We are going to have background music during those hours, yes.
Okay, but not like a DJ is what I'm asking. DJ and karaoke is what I'm asking at 2 a.m. during the week.
Karaoke might be just once a week that we're going to host an event, maybe a stand-up music, or which falls in the category of karaoke as well.
Okay, thank you.
Like stand-up comedy night, that's becoming very popular now.
Miguel, Angel.
Yes.
So please reach out to the folks at the Dykeman Housing Association. Reach out to Mr. Marshall Vanderpool, and please write down.
Hold on, just let me. Marshall Vanderpool. What is the number?
212.
What was that again?
212. 928. Sorry.
928.
No, sorry. I was going to give you my numbers, incredible. So it's 942.
942.
8020.
8020.
Yeah, please reach out to him because he's the one that usually comes to the meeting, and perhaps it would be nice for you guys to come to some type of understanding, have some concerns be addressed at that level, so that we don't have to go into more serious issues in the future, right?
Yeah, and like I said, this location is almost at the corner. We are further down. We're not in front of the Dykeman houses because we're all the way by the corner, almost near the church.
Yeah, and it's okay, because you don't want neighbors to come like in droves and complain about the place. So you're preventing problems by doing that. You're taking a proactive action. Having said that, if they're not concerned, I'll let you vote.
Okay, so this again is for item 6. It's Mexican Bistro Corp. Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, I vote yes. Cindy, Robin, Waldiz, Ashley.
Yes.
Okay. Marielle
Yes.
and Rosie.
Yes.
Angel.
Yes.
Okay, so.
Real quick, Gerard, Waldiz is on, and I vote yes.
Okay, Waldiz. So you vote yes. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is 7 yeses, and so this passes. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Angel, I hope you do well. I hope you guys are pretty soon, because that is one corner or one place that I like to see open, because there are about 2 businesses or 3 businesses there that have been closed. for a long,
Yes.
long while. And I really hope that you guys make it work.
We're hoping to survive this pandemic and that the land is understanding. I mean, hopefully we ride it through.
Whatever we can do as a community board, feel free to reach out.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, next item is 7. Pinchos Grill Inc. It's 105A Dykeman Street. It's at the corner of Nagel Street. Again, this is item 7. It's Pinchos Grill Inc. And this again is method of operation change. Are you present? Pinchos. Pinchos Grill Inc. Are you present? Item 7, Pinchos Grill Inc. So Cesar, they are not present.
And there is some questionnaire. So there's no need to proceed with this resolution because they're not present.
Okay.
No questionnaire presented.
All right. Next. Sorry.
No, we have to vote.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So on this, item 7.
Let me explain, the difference, Gerard, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So for committee members, you see that we are voting on this particular agenda item because even though there's no one present and there's no questionnaire, we still have to submit a vote to the general board. So please have that in mind. When we do renewals, if there are now major complaints from the 34th precinct and or residents, we tend to vote them on so that it cannot be held back. Since this is a request for change, we cannot just vote on the matter if there are no representatives present, because most of the questions that we might have, they won't be able to answer. And that's what we're going to go into a straight vote. Thank you, Gerard.
Okay. So item 7, with that said, Cesar, how do you vote?
No.
Okay, I vote no. Cindy Robin Valdez.
No.
Okay. Ashley.
No.
Marielle.
No.
Rosie.
No.
And Angel.
No.
All right, this does not pass unanimously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 no's. Okay,
By a vote of 070, this application fails.
correct. Next on the agenda is under the class change section. It is from restaurant wine to on-premise liquor license. Item 8 is Il Posto Trattoria Rustica Corp. DBA Cafe Taboo. They're located at 227 Dykeman Street. So it's Il Posto Trattoria Rustica Corp. DBA Cafe Taboo. Are you present?
Yes.
Welcome.
So Aurelia is the representative. Do we have any other owner? We have an owner. Someone is music. Can you please mute yourself? Aurelia, Gerard, for the translation services. For myself, understand. All right. Do we have any other representative from Taboo? All right. So we have Aurelia. Guys, it's a sound that is very troubling. Very well. This is when the purview 34th precinct. The ask here for committee members and for information is a change of class. A change of class comes when there is a wine and beer license and they want to upgrade to a full liquor license. And that is called a class change. This is with the purview of the 34th precinct. Officer Aim, please. What is the opinion of 34th precinct?
Yes, Officer Aim. We just had 33 311 calls in 2020, which is really not a lot. Just, the parking situation as usual on Dykeman, but it hasn't been bad in that particular area on Dykeman. And just another concern that we have, which is not related to Café Tabú, but usually later on in the night, a lot of people, after they exit those clubs, they like to hang out in the park across the street, which is not the establishment's fault, which is something that we're working on to, get people dispersed after clubs close. But other than that, we really don't have, much to say on that establishment. They've been good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I was aim. The last time that this applicant came to the board, that was December 18, 2020. And the board had no objection based on the record from the health department. The last inspection, they had an A. Having said that, I will check to see if there are any residents questions. I see none. I will now move into committee session. Committee members, do you have any questions? Committee members, seeing none. So the ask here is to for an upgrade. Aurelia, who's going to be managing the alcohol? Who are the bartenders? Do you know?
All bartenders are going to be ATAP certified. I don't have a specific. That's part of his the way he's going to run his business. And him and Carlota. Carlota has been there since 2013 without incident, not even a COVID violation. She's really been, I'll be honest with you, most of the time, we require that they start with restaurant wine on Dyckman Street and prove themselves. I think Ms. Chevere has proven herself for over almost 8 years without incident to kind of really, be one of the people who has earned a class change at this time. And they're doing it for the economics too. Summer's coming. It's not going to be approved by summer. It'll probably be approved by September. But maybe for the holidays, they'll be able to move forward and recover from this season.
Understood. I haven't been there, believe it or not. You're right. Again, I'm going to ask you. Perhaps we go there for a drink. I don't know.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Any members? Don't think I'm alcoholic. I just like to go out. Seeing none, I recommend that we'll go straight vote.
Yes, let's vote. So for item 8, again, this is from restaurant wine to on-premise liquor. Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay, I vote yes. Cindy, Robin, Valdez.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Ashley.
Yes.
All right. Marielle,
Yes.
Rosie,
Yes.
and Angel.
Yes.
And Leo is not here. So this passes unanimously, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with 7 yeses.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much. For the rest of the committee members, don't feel left out. But Urana, we go back some years.
That's right.
All these who is practically new to the committee, and also Rosie, Angel, Marielle, feel free, and perhaps we can hang out one of these days.
Yes.
Let's do it, guys. Let's do it.
All right.
Thank you.
So next on the agenda is item number 9. This is under the alteration section. This is endorsement to change business address. So item 9, this is El Posto again, Sarteria Ristica, Corp, DBA Cafe Taboo. 9, I would imagine, Ariela, it's you?
Yes.
And from what I gather, this is a renumbering.
Yeah, I attached the Department of Building.
The landlord and the Department of Building have renumbered the building.
It's crazy.
You just want to make sure that everything is clear and transparent, and it makes sense to everyone that it's actually a different number. Is that the case, Ariel?
Yes, they renumbered the entire building because the building was divided into subsets. It was just a mess. So ideally, it was for the liquor license purposes, it reports as 227 Dyckman Street. Their address is really 229A/B Dyckman Street. So we want to make sure everything's correct, because going forward, we don't want to give the 34th precinct a headache. They don't want to, they don't want to, cause any friction. They want to do everything right. Now they've stepped up during this season, so we want to make sure everything's in order.
Thank you so much. So this is just to make sure that it's clear with a change of address, not because of that you guys have moved, but because there is a new number on the building. Having said that, This was the Prairie 34th precinct. Officer Aim, please tell us your position.
Yes, Officer Aim. Basically, you know what I stated before. You know, they've been a good business. Just you know the parking situation a little bit, but we usually don't have too many issues with that establishment. It's been a good one. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Officer. I see no comments from residents, committee members. Saying none. This place is, I think, very small. What's the capacity there? Let me double check.
3.
What was that?
3.
Like 34, I think it was now with the other side.
It's very small, 74 actually. So maybe, you know, we'll definitely drop by.
Yes.
No objection, please. We would like to proceed to a vote.
Okay. Again, we're voting on item 9. Cesar, how do you vote?
Yes.
Yes. Gerard, I vote yes. Cindy, Robin, Valdez.
Yes.
Okay. Ashley,
Yes.
Marielle,
Yes.
Rosie,
Yes.
Angel.
Yes.
Okay, and Leo is not here. So again, this passes unanimously with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 yeses. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you so much.
Good. So the next on the agenda is item 10. And again, this is under alteration license. This is to move the bar from left to right. And this is item 10. It's Esquina 214 Corp. DBA Cafe Tobacco Iran. It's at 501 West 214th Street at the corner of West 214th Street. Again, this is item 10, Esquina 214 Corp. It's to move the bar. Are you present?
Yes.
Welcome.
Tabaco is wrong. Very well. So committee members, FYI, anytime there is a remodeling of that exceeds $10,000, they have to notify the community board and the SLA. It seems that they have spent this amount and they are now notifying the community board as part of the process. And Aurelia, this license is about to expire. Have they renewed?
They're in the renewal process as well. Surprised. I'm not doing the renewal. I'm only doing this alteration. He's seen. I think he knows. He's aware though of that. I'm gonna have to send him an email to remind him. I'm surprised that it's probably in already. It just hasn't. But has it appeared before? I'll let him know. I'm gonna let him know.
The last time that they came on board was September 22nd of last year. They have not gotten a grade from the health department. And I see that Mr. William Segura is the licensee.
Yes. He's just moving the bar. You know, with this stuff, with all these changes with COVID, they're moving the bar from one side to the other so that it's more by the window area. You know, if when they permit people to come inside again, if they want to make it make sense.
Thank you. Officer Aim, this is within the Prairie 34th. What's the opinion?
This is Officer Aim. In 2020, we've had 31 311 calls in regards to the extremely loud music coming from that establishment. To my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, there's residents that live above. So that's just a concern for us because we've been getting a lot of 311 calls from that location. Other than that, that's pretty much our main concern. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Officer Aim. The last time that you guys came here, there was no objection, right? But let me check to see if we had or requested any steps because 31 311 calls, even though it's for the whole year, It's a bit alarming. No slips. All right. Committee members, any questions? I see that, sorry, Catherine Sullivan has a question as a resident. Catherine, you have the floor. Catherine.
Okay, yes, unmuted. I wanted to make sure I'm talking about the right license because I'm afraid I have other things I always have to do when licensing is happening. So I'm always here late. So can somebody please tell me what license we're talking about?
Dealing with agenda item number 10, which is Cafe Tabaco y Ron, located on 501 West 14th Street.
Okay, thank you. Okay, item 10, thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you.
Committee members. Comments. Aurelia, I know that this place has been soundproof because of the train that, the overpass is really loud. What can we do about the 311 complaints?
I'm gonna take it up with the owner, and we can show sound limiter, and we can also and now that he's moving the bar, maybe we can agree to to some sort of, I think he already has the place soundproof, so maybe what we can do is, now that he's making those changes, to kind of try to install the sound limiter so it keeps the sound under a certain decibel level. 50, I think it's 50, right? 50 decibels is the. And then there's the train there as well. So I just don't, I'm not sure it's always the, this, it's a little, that's a crazy little corner, I think a sound limiter would help. And if they're doing some renovations interiorly, maybe we can request an upgraded receipt of that. I think if that's okay with the board.
I would like to provide some steps because whenever there are complaints from residents, we have to make sure that we protect the residents as well because they do have a right to a good night's sleep. Aurelia, so our phone number to be displayed at the establishment and quite visible. Of course, of the manager who is in charge. Good neighbor sign. I think that'll be it on my end. Committee members, if there are no objections with 2 steps, I recommend that we go to a vote.
Agreed. So item 10, we're voting on. Again, this is to move a bar from the left to the right. Cesar, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. I vote yes. Cindy, Robin, Valdez.
Yes.
Okay. Ashley,
Yes.
Marielle,
Yes.
Rosie,
Yes.
and Angel.
Yes.
And Leo's not here. So this passes unanimously with 7 yeses.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good evening and please stay safe.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Okay. All right, next on the agenda, just FYI, item 11 was withdrawn or removed. So we're going to go straight to item 12, which is under eating place beer license. And this is item 12, it's La Catrina Restaurant Mexican Deli Grill Corp. It's located at 283 Amsterdam Avenue. It's at the corner of West 163rd Street. Again, La Catrina Restaurant Mexican Deli Corp. Are you present?
Yes, Miguel Acosta representing the business.
Great, welcome.
So the application is complete. They have provided a copy of the menu, a copy of the floor plan, and a fully answered questionnaire. So this is a beer license, committee members. Let me go through the specifics so that Officer Aim can, Officer Brown can understand the specifics. So apparently there are two owners there, Wendy Peña and Hugo Cesar Carvajal will be the owners. Officer Brown, this is a Mexican deli restaurant. From what they have indicated here, the capacity is 45, so it's not a large place. There'll be no jukebox. Sorry, there will be jukebox. There'll be no DJ. There'll be no karaoke, no live music, and sound limit has not has been properly installed. I'm sorry, apologies. And the place has been soundproofed. They're providing security cameras. There'll be no need for security personnel. The hours of operations is 9 a.m. to 4 a.m. on a daily basis. They have 3 employees, 5 tables, 30 chairs. Officer Brown.
Yes, sir. Good evening. In regards to this location, all of last year and year to date this year, we've had no complaints for double parking, no 301 complaints. We have no really complaints at that location. So from the 3-3 perspective, we have no objections for this.
Thank you so much, Officer.
You're welcome.
I'm a little bit concerned about the hours.
I'll give you a brief explanation about this, Isidro. So this is what it is. We visited the community board 2019. Client was asking for a restaurant wine license. They decided to apply for Eating Place beer license. The Eating Place beer license, reason why is because they decided to convert this into a deli / restaurant. You're familiar with most of the grocery stores and delis now offer, food for eating and to take out. So the Eating Place beer license allows patrons to come in, purchase food, similar to what's going on right now post-pandemic, where the State Liquor Authority is allowing patrons to purchase food and alcoholic beverages to go. So basically, with their intentions of having a deli grocery operating for these hours. So they open at 9 a.m., they close at 4 a.m. They offer food. They offer, if you want to sit down and have a beer while you eat, or if you want to grab a beer when you leave with your food, that's basically the method of operation that it was chosen by the operators.
Checking to see if there are residents above this establishment. Do you know if there are any residents here?
I will let you know right now. I believe is give me 1 second. Yes, correct.
Yes.
There's 5-story building above.
And there's other residential around it as well.
Yeah, the entire area is residential with a lot of movement. There's restaurants surrounding it, delis, grocery stores. So basically, the reason that the business is operating till 4 a.m. because there's, after this pandemic, we hope to have a lot of movement in the street, like we were in the past. So they want to be able to cater to walk-ins, people who eat late, people who are around there, people who want to walk in, grab food and go. So basically, the beer is going to be complementing the food if somebody chooses to purchase some type of food and purchase a beer, which is during the hours allowed by the liquor authority. So the client is fully aware that from 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. they aren't able to sell any beers anyway. So that's why they're closing at that time. But their intentions was to have a 24-hour deli. In that case, they decided to modify the hours.
Committee members?
I just quick, this is 34th or 33rd?
33rd.
33rd. So 33rd, you have no, again, it's just, it goes till 4 in the morning. It is beer. I'm not making it out to be a big thing, but there's a beautiful park right across the way. Any concerns? Again, this is to the 33rd with, the park across the street, a concern about people just buying beer would be a normal thing to do.
No, there's actually no park. There's no park across the street. That's on 177th Street. This is 163rd.
Yeah, I live in the neighborhood. There's no park across the street there. There's a vacant lot.
Yeah, it's a vacant lot.
I got the wrong address. Sorry. Okay, that's.
Are you talking about like the little triangle park? But that's close to 162 and Amsterdam, between St. Nicholas and Amsterdam.
Yeah, that's actually like a vacant lot at the moment. It looks like it is a triangle, but it's a vacant lot.
Maybe that's what I'm talking about.
Because they have like a little...
No, there is a small triangular park. It's very small. Yeah. It's on the corner of 162 where St. Nicholas and Amsterdam come together.
Oh yeah, that's a few blocks down.
It is a few blocks down.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only question about 4 in the morning. That's the only thing.
No, I understand the concern.
The last time you came here to this committee, we had approved this, from what I recall, this application, but because you guys were not able to provide proof of a sound limiter, it was rejected at the general board meeting. And it's a little bit concerning. So a little bit concerning that we ask for something that you should submit, and for some weird reason, it was not submitted.
Well, the thing is that the jukebox comes with a sound limiter. So it could have been the fact that it had to be provided by the person that provides the jukebox, which is normally leased or rented, so I'll address that, and I'll make sure that if it's requested again, I'll make sure that they'll have it by the general meeting.
So that'll be one of the stipulations.
Yeah, it's not a problem. I believe it shouldn't be a problem.
Proof of a sound limiter, and the receipt has to be submitted, Miguel, a day before the general board meeting, which now is scheduled for 26th of this month.
Not a problem.
You should submit that no later than I'll say Friday, the 22nd.
I'll assure you get it.
And we're also going to request that you put a phone number of either the manager or the owner where residents can call at Good Neighbor Sign.
Perfect. Quick question about the Good Neighbor sign right now. So is it possible Chanel can email me one and I can print it for them?
Chanel can email one for you.
Thank you.
And if you don't get it, of course, you have to follow up with Chanel.
Not a problem. I'll handle that tomorrow.
So with 3 steps in place, does the committee feel to add another one, or that'll be enough? And that'll be a sound limiter, right? Good Neighbor sign, and also a phone number to be displayed at the premise.
Not a problem.
Committee members?
Sounds good.
I see that Maria does have a question. Maria.
Yes, thank you, Isidro. You actually asked one of the questions I was going to ask, which is exactly that, the proof of purchase of the sound limiter. So thank you for bringing that up. My other then question for you, Miguel, is do you know how the restaurant is handling the violations that it received on March 3rd regarding roaches and hand washing facilities and so on?
March 3rd of 2020?
2020. So I know probably, things might be held up with COVID and stuff, but just wanted to hear how that's being addressed.
I'm not exactly sure. I'm here just to address the application that was submitted. I was unaware that there were violations issued by the health department with regards to rodents. So I'll definitely address that, and maybe can provide some statement and provide it together with the stipulation.
So yes, this establishment was closed by the health department, as I see it here on the record.
Okay, I'll address that with the ownership. I was fully unaware of that.
Committee members, are there any concerns about this new development story?
No.
That some months ago, we had some health department issues with some restaurants, and we actually reject the application based on the health department codes. So that is a bit concerning. Maria, do you still have a question?
Yes, sorry, it was just a follow-up, just to ask, I mean, I don't know, Miguel, if the owners are on the line or anything, but just wondering then when the restaurant was reopened, and the timing of that.
Like I said, I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to answer any questions incorrectly. So I can address to the ownership. Normally, it takes about 7 days to get an establishment re-inspected to make sure that all the violations are cured. But I can definitely find out. I understand that there are concerns regarding the rodents. If the health department allowed them to reopen, I feel that means that they handled the issue, and that if they haven't, I know since COVID, probably they don't get as much visits. She hasn't been by my office at any recent time to tell me if there's any other issues, because I know now the health department's out there inspecting the establishment to assure that they are aware of the safety guidelines and that they have all the COVID logs on premise. So I haven't heard anything from my client with regards to any health department issue after reopening.
Committee members, will you feel comfortable with the recommendation that I provide by asking Miguel to send us a copy of the health department clearance before we vote at the general board meeting? And if we don't get that that clearance, I would ask the board to revert that resolution into a negative.
I completely understand, and I am for it.
Very well. So Miguel, please send us a note from the health department about this clearance. And if we get that, plus
the steps
about providing a copy of the sound limiter, I'll be more than happy to support this application.
Not a problem. Thank you so much.
Very well. So based on those 4 steps, copy of a sound limiter, the purchase order, the installation of good neighbor sign, phone number to be properly displayed in case there are any issues, and a copy from the health department as a clearance for the place to open.
Sounds good.
And we will get this, Miguel, I previously said Friday the 22nd, but because of COVID, I will push this deadline by the 25th.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Monday 25th, okay? No later than 5 o'clock.
Not a problem.
Having said that, I recommend that we go to vote.
Agreed. So this will be item 12. Isidro, how do you vote?
Yes.
Okay. I vote yes. Cindy, Robin, Waldiz?
Yes.
Okay. Ashley,
Yes.
Marielle,
Yes.
Rosie,
Yes.
Angel,
Yes.
and Leo. Okay. So this passes unanimously with 7 yeses.
Thank you. I'll have those stipulations in by the 25th, 5 o'clock. Thank you very much. You have a blessed night.
Thank you so much, Miguel. Take care of yourself.
You too.
Happy holidays. Committee members, thank you so much for your support. Ebenezer, again, and Chanel and Paola, thank you so much as always. You have been a really great source of help, and I'm very appreciative of that. Thank you so much. Any notes from committee members? If not, call for adjournment.
I have a quick question, Isidro. So, for the drafting of the resolutions, I'm now going to wait for the meeting notes, correct, or the meeting minutes to be able to draft the resolution using that, correct?
And that will be provided by Ashley, right, Ashley?
Yep.
So try, Ashley, to work on it as fast as you can, because then Angel has to work on the resolutions. Angel, you can work on the templates by changing, like the addresses, the date of the committee meetings. There's a lot you can do in the meantime, and just make the comments as an input for the resolutions if they are so important.
That works for me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Really not done it without your support. Very happy with this committee, how we're working together. Thank you so much for the presence, Officer Brown, Officer Aim. Thank you so much for your support and always your attendance. We're really grateful for your work. On that note, I'll call for adjournment.
Second.
Motion has been motioned by Gerard. Any second?
Second.
Second by Marielle.
Ashley.
Ashley. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Bye.
Aye.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
Peace.